Hello, my fellow engineers. I'm sitting over here with my coffee. This is Freedom here speaking, your host, your one of the usual hosts. We also have our co-hosts here. Would you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, Tavon here. It's a frosty time of the year,
Oh yeah.
and you have to hold your loved ones near. With the power of Xeon, everything will be good. Everything will be okay. Sig Xeon. Sig Xeon. Sig
Uh,
Xeon.
your boy CJ over here. That winter may be a little extra cold with all that wind we got blowing our way from the old windmill. But anyhow, let's get this party rocking, everybody.
Devon, you ever thought of working for Team Rocket?
You know what? I considered it, but Pokemon don't exist, so I'm kind of out of luck.
Well, speaking of something that exists, oh boy, we have a lot to talk about, and
Yeah, I'm kinda
unfortunately,
scared.
this thing exists. So we're going to be talking about the Star Wars Battle Cruiser Hotel. If you guys don't know, that's the hotel where you basically you role play throughout this hotel experience. You get to wear your you get to cosplay whoever you want to be. You get to live out the full experience, and it's only for 2 days. Keep in mind, it's only a 2 day experience. Um, yeah, we have a lot to talk about, and it's very interesting. So actually, I forgot to do this for you guys, so that way you guys are able to see. And I am talking about my host, by the way. There we go. All right, so first thing on the news, yeah, so we're going to be talking about like the new projects that's coming up from Gundam. We're also going to be talking about Call of Duty, and also what else we got to talk about? Really, that's about it. Nothing more. All right, so first one up, Star Wars Hotel. Have you guys do you guys see do you guys see the screen over here?
Yeah, I see it. What am I looking at?
This was the promo for.
I
She's holding an iPhone.
can't.
Look at the background.
They couldn't at least even get a phone and put like a skin on it.
No, so what do you guys? All right, so let me tell you guys what it is from their own words. So new and familiar Star Wars characters need your help, and will invite to develop deeper into the story impact with them. Like never before, embark on a secret mission and create alliances. So you could actually do lightsaber training. You could operate the bridge, and you could actually, be a part of a combat experience. Shoot down TIE fighters and all that. So and also like sometimes like the coworkers will walk past you and stop you, like, hey, here's a story, whatever. So it's like a big RPG experience. Now here's the catch. For two guests, for you and someone else, $4,800
For 2 nights.
for 2 nights, or you and a family, $6,000. Now, when this was first announced, they were sold out within like 3 or 4 months. Like they were fully booked. This promo came out probably about a week ago. Dude, they're facing so much cancellations that they actually took their promo video off of YouTube.
Oh, because of how bad it was.
Dude, it looks cheap. Look at it.
It does look super cheap.
Dude, it's really cheap. Look, I mean, she's holding an iPhone.
Yeah.
She's holding, and look at the background.
Green screen, like really low quality
Like,
green screen
no,
all
like,
day long.
Dude, like if you're gonna pay $6,000, because obviously you want to bring a family with you. I mean, I have a family, I'm gonna have to pay, $6,000 for 2 nights. I understand it's a whole role play experience. And by the way, you sit in I mean, this is what somebody said who actually had inside information. You sit down on like this big bench, and if you want your own seat, you got to pay like an extra $30. By the way, you get one free alcohol drink.
Hold on, so
Well,
let me get
they're
this
not
straight.
making-
Hold on.
Yeah.
So you spent $6,000,
Yep.
$4,000, 4,800, and you only get one drink,
One free drink.
one free drink.
Alcoholic drink. Yep.
Either Disney is losing a lot of money, or they just think we're dumb enough to fall for that. But clearly we're not. So you know what? Let's let them. Let's watch them. Just. Oh, the room looks nice though.
Hey, $4,800 is a small price to
that.
pay to reenact that scene from one of the prequels where he goes and slays all the younglings.
Oh, Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. You know, I seen a meme where Anakin was Santa Claus, and it said like when when the younglings wake up at night and seen Santa before Christmas, and you see Santa as Anakin holding a lightsaber, looking at the kids.
And the memes over that are amazing. Like the Youngling Slayer 9000 and stuff.
Oh,
Like all
yeah,
terrible. They just crack me up.
Yeah. So this is the actual hotel picture right here of the room that you get. Now there's different rooms. This is just one of them. So if you can see, this is obviously the main bed, and then you got the two bunk beds over here. Yeah, I like the aesthetics. You know what I mean? Because the whole point is that they want to make you feel like you're on a space cruiser.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So every room gets their own viewport, like their own little window right here, and is immersive. So you see, like, it looks like you're going into space.
That's pretty cool.
I think
admittedly.
It reminds me of like a cruise ship room. Like, it's small. You know what I mean?
it does seem really kind of tight.
Yeah.
Stay true to the lore.
Yeah, staying true to the lore. Yeah, but it's a hotel that you're paying $4,800 for you and somebody else. For a whole family, $6,000. You're paying $6,000. I mean, this looks like maybe it's a family room because I'm assuming
it's like the little bunk beds. Maybe it looks like in the corner.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And this is U.S., right?
This is U.S. This is like in Florida, my homeland, my home state. Yeah.
So I'm Canadian.
Let's not go bragging over here.
No, I'm not bragging. Unfortunately,
You don't have anything to brag about, Florida man.
Hey, people talk about, oh man, you live in Florida, or I mean, I live in Texas now, but people are like, oh, you used to live in Florida. Did you go to Disney all the time? I was like, yes. I used to have year passes. I used to go like 3 times a month, and I got bored of it. And it was only 30 minutes down the road.
Look, so I've been to Florida many times. I live in the southeast corner of Georgia, and one of the weirdest, like absolute craziest shit, like things I've seen down there was we were going down the interstate. It might have been a highway, but nonetheless, it was close to some water, and there's like a fucking alligator walking in the road. And like we run its tail over, because it was dark out. It was the middle of the night, and we just ran over an alligator tail.
I'm surprised it didn't sit on his hind legs and breathe fire and cuss at y'all, because Florida animals are wild.
Yeah, didn't pop a tire, didn't do anything like that. But like we looked back, and there's an alligator behind us, just I'm in the rear view mirror. But it's like, what the heck, man?
I mean,
what is make believe land we're in?
Yeah, and the thing is, man, it's just so cheap. Just look at it. I mean, look, this room right here is just cramped. And a lot of people said, it's the promotion videos that really killed it. They were very cheap on what they were selling.
Yeah.
And also, like, here's another one. So you get to do lightsaber training. So you get to be on the ship. You get to use a lightsaber. You get to be, feel like you're a Jedi, or you could feel like you're a smuggler, whatever. So here's this other image right here. All it is a flashlight. That's all it. They have a machine that points a flashlight at you, basically.
Yeah. And you just pretend to block it.
Basically.
That's pretty lame, honestly.
Yeah. So right here, 2 guests per cabin. So you get $1,000. So it's $1,209 per guest per night, or $4,809 for the voyage total. Because it's supposed to feel like you're on a cruise.
Yeah.
But you're on land. 3 guests per cabin, 2 adults, 1 child, is $889 per night, or $5,299 voyage total. 4 guests per cabin, 3 adults, 1 child is $749 per guest per night, or $5,999 or 6,000 USD. So the whole point is like, you're role playing throughout the whole thing. You get to, you have people stopping you, and they're like, hey, you guys want to go on a secret mission? We're part of the resistance. And you get to the end of the voyage. They'll take you to Batu, which is basically like Galaxy's Edge, where you get to build your own custom lightsabers and stuff like that. But the thing is, that's like $100 to go into.
Yeah.
I think it's about $100 to get into, and you get to see the Millennium Falcons, press buttons, and all that.
Man, I'm saying for $5,000, they better let me sit in like a replica X-wing with like a grenade launcher attached on the front of it and shoot it down like some exhaust port of like a mocked up Death Star so I can blow it up or something. I mean, $5,000 is insane.
What do you think, TiVo? Is this enough to get you out of Canada? TiVo? Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now on the website.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, you've been to Florida before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hung out down over there, so.
It's just really off-putting because for the same price, I could fly to Japan or something.
Well, not only that, dude, but like for like $100, like 100 USD, you could go to the Batu Park and, build your own lightsaber. You know what I mean? You get that full interactive experience.
Is the lightsaber metal?
I believe so.
Could it injure somebody if swung at?
Well, I know it's like $200. Like you could build it, but if you want to keep it yourself, it's like $200.
So you have to pay $400 to keep it.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you get the full interactive experience. This, I mean, it's 2 days, but like, dude,
it's a lot of money to disappear in 2 days.
And it's just the promotion really killed it. Like, dude, you should really see the promotion.
And even the video on how they designed the place, it looks nice on the outside part, but man, I don't know.
Now, did you see the picture of that blue captain? That is.
No, I didn't see that anywhere. I didn't see that anywhere.
You see the thumbnail? It's in the Discord.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah, but dude, it looks cheap. It looks awful. And if you looked at the trailer, like the guy who's acting in it is trying so hard to smile. It looks so, dude, like I could do it for free and make it look, convincing. This guy looked like he was in pain the whole time. Like, they're making me smile throughout this thing. Just buy the damn ticket.
It looks like a cheap porno set. Like, are we going to like a Star Wars resort, or are we going to like Star Whores? Like,
oh my god!
Like, honestly, you cannot look at that and tell me that's like, yes, this is something off the hub.
Let me see.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. You can't look at that and tell me that you don't think that. I
just want to know what iPhone is that.
You're wrong.
I want to know what iPhone is that. Is that the iPhone 500? Apple's still in the future, guys. Apple's the future.
This is rough.
Oh my god. And by the way, so all your crew is basically actors and actresses. They're basically dressed up like how she's dressed up. Which I think that part's cool, because the whole point is that it's giving you like that full experience. But I really think they're robbing the Star Wars fans. I really do think that. Look, Star Wars is a huge IP.
Oh, massive, yeah.
Massive. I mean, how much they bought off George Lucas? It was in the billions.
Yeah, it was in the billions. That's right.
Yeah, and this is what we get. I kind of feel very look, I love Star Wars. But Empire Strikes Back, definitely my favorite movie out of the bunch. These movies that came out, like Empire Strikes Back and The New Hope, probably had better effects than this.
Yeah, so Disney bought Lucasfilms for $4.05 billion.
$4 billion
in 2012.
and probably made their money back on the 3 movies that came out recently. The 3 trilogy movies alone.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like Han Solo. I know they lost money on Han Solo. Rogue One was pretty good.
Never watched it.
Never watched it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the room, but it just looks cramped if you're having your family in there.
It looks like it could be a good idea, but I think poor execution. I think the idea is there, but you know, maybe even a little cringy. But I don't know about the execution.
I don't know about that lightsaber though. Like, look at it. Like, are you like doing it for like 30 seconds and like the guy like cuts you off and like, all right, next. But I paid $6,000 for that. Yeah, well, you're the dumbass who paid $6,000 next.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. I just, like I said, I feel kind of insulted. That's just me.
You don't obey the rules and they just chop you in half like Obi-Wan did Darth Maul.
Yeah, or they sink you to the Rancor pit.
Yeah.
I mean, T-Von, do you like Star Wars?
Nah, I hate it. Absolutely, I'm joking.
Nah.
Of course, I love Star Wars, man.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say we used to play Battlefront together, especially like the old, what was it, 2005? We used to play with mods and Jedi Academy too. We used to play some Jedi Academy, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to beat my ass with it.
Man, Battlefront 2 won like the PlayStation, and PlayStation 2 is where it was at.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah. God, I hope whenever Sony does that 3-tier thing when that allows you to play, PlayStation 2 games and stuff, hopefully they bring that up there.
Oh, you can buy Battlefront 2 like the OG one on Xbox right now. It's like dirt cheap.
Really? I mean, I got it on Steam.
I swear.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean same thing really at the end of the day. But yeah, heavily recommend it. Great game. Love it.
Hey
Good
guys,
memories.
I really want to know what this is like. I think all of us should chip in and just like bring our cameras and do like a full tour of it, just to see how it goes.
Damn, how you gonna film that by yourself?
GoPro, I guess.
Okay, cool, because you won't see me there.
Yeah, no. Come on, man, take one for the team. It's for the
Man,
viewers.
Look, I'm not gonna spend $4,800 to go in there and then get kicked out immediately after I beat the shit out of kids with the lightsaber.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Look, guys, join the Discord. If you guys want to talk more about this, join the Discord or comment right here on the YouTube. If you guys are watching on YouTube or on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, comment. We'd like to hear your input on this. Would you pay $4,000 for you and someone else? $4,800. Even if you're splitting it, I don't think it's even worth it.
Hell
For
no.
2 days, man.
To the no.
And they were booked. They were booked for 3 or 4 months after they'd said, hey, we're making this hotel. They just released the trailer for it. What, like about a week ago? And dude, they lost a lot of bookings. Like they just had to put down the video. It's crazy. Guys, if you haven't seen it, watch it. I recommend it. But all right, before we go on to the next topic, do you guys have any last comments about this, T-Von or CJ?
I think it's gonna die without recovering. I think it's a financial loss.
Probably.
Unless they just happen to whip up like a hell of a, secondary
Disney.
promo video. I think they're gone
It's
with
Disney.
this project.
I mean, I think they kind of sold me on that free alcoholic drink.
The $4,800 alcoholic drink.
I think that's with the 6,000.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm sure if you bring your kids along, you probably want to drink.
Understandable.
So that way you could get you so drunk, like, man, why the hell did I do this? All right, next topic: Call of Duty,
Man, you
or
best
how I like to
believe-
call it, Call of Money, monetize warfare.
Oh,
Man.
I like that.
I would never even be able to make use of this because I never win these games. I suck at them. I would never get to see my skin on a kill cam.
Yeah. So Vanguard, which by the way, kind of very disappointing title. My opinion, obviously, but it's kind of disappointing. So, Call of Duty Vanguard is going to release like a season pass, and they're going to monetize the kill cam.
Huh?
I'm
Yep.
glad I got out of that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad Cold War. Well, Cold War was already bad enough, but it didn't bother me too
Modern
much.
Warfare was pretty good, dude, and
Yeah.
I will say this. So the breaching scene. So okay, let me tell you this because this was my training. So we were trained to do breaching. Obviously, I was the fourth guy. And what they do is like the fourth guy. Your job is to kick the door as hard as you can and let your guys go in. And once everybody's in, you follow. And the way that they did this is pretty damn close to realistic. It's the most realistic scene I've ever seen. Like they hit it out of the ballpark with that scene. Like it was dramatizingly close to being real. And then we got Vanguard, and man, they threw it out of the park with that. Yeah, so with the season pass, you had to pay $10, and obviously you got to grind for it after that. So it's basically like, at the end of the round, you could pretty much flex like, hey, look at my kill cam. Do you see? I mean,
Doesn't even look good.
no.
It looked like some cheap picture they plastered on the screen.
Maybe
And
Disney.
they're charging.
Maybe Disney did it.
This was the bad move, and I loved Cold War. I loved Black Ops Cold War, but this
I
was
had a good
bad
story.
move.
I like the story.
It was cool how even the Warzone tied into the current game story. I like that a lot, but this ain't it.
Yeah. What do you think, CJ?
I have not played really any Call of Duty game in, gosh, I don't remember the last one I played. It might have even been like Infinite Warfare, if that tells you anything. It's been a minute. But I'll tell you what, I know anybody out there who plays Call of Duty is going to pay just so that they can flex that skin on that kill cam.
Well,
I'm not one of them because I'm not good enough for it. But
You don't have to be
I
that
think
good.
it's
Trust me.
dumb.
The game is pretty easy to get into. Trust me. It's as basic as they come when it comes to shooting games.
Well, I don't know. I think it's dumb, and you
just
probably
why?
not be the wisest
Well,
as far as
look.
I'm
Here's the
concerned.
thing. Here's the thing. They're going to keep doing this. This is right here. It's going to be on every Call of Duty game from now on. Want to know why? Because people actually buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people actually buy it. And the thing is, like, when people stop buying this crap, that's when they stop. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I'm being for real. Like me as a gamer. Let's be honest here. The reason why they do all these loot boxes and all this, like, hey, pay $50 for, red or pink or blue or yellow, is because people will actually do it. Now, this isn't the first game to do it. I think Valiant, I can't even say it, but Valorant, yeah, they did this kind of. So, and the reason why like Call of Duty adapted it because it's like, hey, you guys made money off of that. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm surprised they've not done something like this before.
Yeah, and this is the reason why companies will sell incompleted games and say, hey, you know what? You only bought half the game, but don't worry. With $20 extra, you might just get the last mission. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I hate companies doing that. And the reason why they keep doing it is because people allow them to do it.
Absolutely. And it's not going to stop. They're going to continue to find ways to monetize it where you have to like buy every mission in the game separate and stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately. God damn it. Yeah, well. All right, well, other news, it may be good, may be bad, but we'll see. So, CJ's seen the thumbnail for it, but he doesn't know anything about it. So, a Gundam Seed. Oh, hang on one second. Sorry, guys, technical audio difficulty. I fixed it. Yeah, so a Gundam Seed Destiny movie it's been announced.
Sorry. Say it one more time. Repeat that one more
A
time.
Gundam Seed Destiny movie has been announced and has been confirmed.
Gundam Seed Destiny. It's just Gundam Seed Destiny movie, right?
Gundam Seed Destiny movie, and it is a
No
sequel.
live action, nothing,
No,
none of that.
no,
Thank
no,
God.
no,
Okay.
no, no,
You
no.
may
This
as well
is
just
this.
drop the F-bomb like 5 times.
No, this is a. I'm sorry about that. By the way, it was a technical difficulty. For some reason, the stream stopped picking up our audio. But don't worry, I fixed it. Hey, I'm doing better. So
Boomer.
yeah, boomer. So basically, this is a sequel to Gundam Seed Destiny. So it's basically going to be like the finisher of it. And according to the director, he said he actually had to rewrite the movie many times over. He says there might be over 100 manuscripts being created in the process. Look, I don't know. See, the thing is, like, I always liked the idea of Seed, and personally, I like Seed Destiny over than Seed. Do I like Seed? Is it a great anime? I don't think so. Is it very popular? Yeah, in its own way, it's very popular. It did bring up a lot of new people, into the community, per se. But I really think they listened too much of their fans, because they really wanted to kill Kira. And they had a lot of hate mail come in. And they're like, fine, we'll let Kira survive a nuclear bomb that was underneath his seat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that
like
always
it,
threw me
like
off.
it literally threw the Archangel and the Minerva like away from each other, like the blast radius. And the only thing they came up with, yeah, he shut the off switch.
Not with an explosion that big. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and I was talking to Wacky about this. I was like, man, you know what? Which, by the way, shout out to Wackymodder. And I was talking to him. I was like, dude, did you not know that, Kira's an experiment? Think about this. What if they gave his skin like the same materials as like his phase shift, but except for phase shift armor, they call it plot armor. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah, good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Look,
man.
I don't have
Come on.
anything. That's really my only issue with Age is that I thought they had a great story, but the execution was done poorly. I mean, it seems like they're saying like they're really working hard on this project. I think it's been delayed already.
Good start.
Well, it's going to be done probably sometime between 2022. So we might hear something within like I like to say midway of 2022.
Well, look, all I'm going to say is if they're producing this the same way they produced the previous, like the other Seed and Destiny, is all they've got to do is have like 5 scenes that they constantly reuse for like a launch sequence or something, or like a ship blowing up, and they should have it done like very start of the year. I mean, there was so much footage that was getting reused and stuff for those 2 seasons, and it was kind of ridiculous, really.
Well, yeah, recycle. I know Wing did that
Great
too.
mech designs. I like the mech designs.
Yeah,
but-
and a lot of it was a homage to the original Gundam series, like the OG, then Zeta, Double
yeah,
Zeta.
kind of touching back to like the core units and stuff.
Yeah, and I
I
really
thought that was a nice touch.
yeah, and I really thought like, man, I really like I really like the Impulse. I like the Strike, and when it comes to like Universes, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
All right, and really that's all I know about the information on here. By the way, so there was a tweet, and I cannot confirm this. I tried many times, like within a couple of days, trying to confirm it. But they said that imagine fighting an enemy as strong as like it's like fighting 20 Kiras. I'm like, oh god. I don't know when that might be
That's
bad.
what they're supposedly alluding to that happening in the movie,
Well,
I guess.
Yeah, and I kind of hope. Look, I watch every Gundam that's out there, and I did read some of the manga. I'm gonna try to give this one. Oh, I always give all of them a benefit of the doubt. It might be good. It might be good. I did like Seed Destiny more than I like Seed. I thought Shin had a better character development over Kira. Because they gave him a reason to fight. He went through loss. They gave him a mentor. I was like, great. They're giving him a character build up. I like that. But then Dual Randall, pull it out in front of him and said, hey, you want to join my side? And he's like, oh, yes. Like it made him brainless. Like his motivation is gone. His sister was like gone. Like all of it's gone. And they took that character build up from him, and it was not smart. And I think it was because like they really like Kira more than this guy. And me personally, I like Shin way more than Kira. Shin definitely had a better development, and they really took that away from Shin. And I think it's because of that reason a lot of people really hate Shin about it. It's because like, oh, he's just a brainless idiot, and yeah, it's because they made him that way at the middle of the way, like out of the blue. And I really don't like that they did that. But really, that's all the information we got. I hope, since Kira is probably going to be involved in this project as well, I hope they get more of a backstory of at least his experimentation. You know what I mean? Of the super coordinator, because they kind of went. Cool. Yeah, it would be cool. They went nowhere with that. They just talked about it and just ditched it.
Maybe a squad of perfect coordinators just absolutely annihilating the protagonists, and then after like maybe something will change inside, and it becomes like some sort of like civil war in that faction, and then something just goes crazy and they shut down the whole project for making coordinators and stuff. Something like that would be cool. I just hope it's not a cliche thing again. I really hope it's not cliche as what the regular show was, because they were just copying what other shows did and then added a few things here and there and decided not to delve deeper into it. I know a lot of it's fleshed out in the manga and stuff, but I would appreciate to see that on the shows.
Well,
tired of seeing the shows get the short end of the stick when it comes to story depth.
Yeah, well, imagine. The thing is this. So far, we've seen that. Look, Seed could be good. Seed can be good. Look at Stargazer.
It's not bad. Like the shows are not bad fundamentally.
Execution was kind of where they fell short. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just lazy. So much the universe is cool. It's really, really cool. It's really, really well done in terms of like.
It's just a lot of rinse and repeat.
Yeah, they need to do something more.
You're right, because like, what was the first 2 seasons about? Genocide.
Yeah.
Literally, genocide.
Been there, done that for the past how many Gundam shows? Do something else. And a lot of the only reason I'm giving like even the UC a little bit of a pass, is because the genocide thing is more like an overall encompassing thing, but after they show different aspects of the war and they go deep into it for different things. I wanted this from Seed. Like even Double O was on the right track for that. At least they tried something a bit different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? They tried something different. So that's where success came from.
Well,
Unbridled Orphans came from something different too.
Well,
but like this needs to be like that.
Well, the thing was like I said, Seed Destiny, I liked it way more. I did like it way more than Seed. Seed Destiny.
It was more fun to watch.
It's more fun to watch.
Even the fighting scenes are way better, for sure, 100%.
Well, yeah, because there is a few years apart. Now, for the reason why I think 2022 is a year for them to come out with some new information, like a trailer maybe, is because next year it's going to be the 20th. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. The 20th anniversary of Seed Destiny.
Holy cow!
Or Seed. Yeah, the original Seed. Original Seed came out. Yeah, original Seed came out in 2002. Next year's 2022. Yeah, I know. I remember watching it.
Where's the time going?
Oh man, I remember watching it on TV. So yeah.
So I was 4 when it came out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. 2002, 7. I was about 8 or 9. Yeah. Oh wait, 20. Yeah, I was 8. Yeah, I just turned 27. So yeah, I was about 8 years old. Yeah, but still. So I could see them doing it for the 20. I could see why they did that project. 20-year anniversary for Seed. I could see them why. Seed, did bring in a lot of merchandise sales for Sunrise. So I could see why, and
I mean, their kits are still popular.
Yeah, their kids are still very popular. And I do
I've got a strike sitting right in front of me.
Did you? There are, do you? Yeah. So, yeah, and honestly, I do like the strike more than I like the impulse, even though the impulse is a lot more slick. I don't know. Like, are they going to make Kira like survive like 2 or 3? You know what? I just realized this. Okay, so think about this. Kira did not only just survive the strike blowing up in the first original Seed, but he also survived a shot from Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. That blew
All
up.
accurate.
That blew up battleships. He took a shot. I don't know. It just they gave him. I think that's why. It's because it's too much plot. Look, we all know, like, hey, they're the hero. They're not going to kill off the hero. I understand that, but they're really taking away that suspense, and I really think that's why a lot of people look down upon Seed.
Yeah.
I think everybody sees that in common. You know what I mean? That's the most common thing about Seed.
There were so many holes in the story that like didn't make sense. That like I think kind of going back to what you just mentioned, how he survived the explosion whenever the Aegis self-destructed in the first season. They don't explain how he gets away from that.
Well,
like he's got a wide open hole in the cockpit and stuff. But like I think actually in the manga with it, the pilot of the Astray Red frame actually like rescues him or something before it blows up.
Yeah, and
But
it mentions something about like a blast door like covering him last second and protecting him from the blast, which it still doesn't make sense because the seat looked like it was all burned up.
Yeah, it was all melted. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So and Lowe grabbed him out, and then it took him to that guy, the blind guy that was in the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like apparently another theory is like his seed gene activated during the explosion, so that his mortal wounds were reduced to serious ones.
No, or low key, this dude's like is the Terminator. Low key, this dude's like the Terminator. Like, watch, like, after the explosion, you see his robotic arm. I'll be back. He tells Atherin, I'll be back. No, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, there's just, look, I don't know where to start with. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to try to keep my hopes up, but at the same time, I hope they don't fuck up. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like I said, season 2 was, or the first half of Destiny was okay. It was good. Like, I was like, okay, I'm actually enjoying this. And then the second half, they went downhill because, they put back Kira into the mess of things. And they try to kill off Kira, and then they got a whole bunch of hate mail saying, hey, bring him back. And it's like Dragon Ball Z all over again.
Yeah.
Which I think Dragon Ball Z did do the right call on that one. They try to kill off Goku and have Gohan pretty much carry the torch. And a lot of people said, no, bring back Goku, and they did. On this one, I mean, see, Dragon Ball is different, obviously. They could wish Goku back, or, they could find an more, I want to say, logical.
Wait a minute. Didn't the fans wish Kira back? And it kind of happened, though?
That's what happened.
I mean,
yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
But that's what
Yo,
we're talking
Shenron, where are you?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Gundam is considered a robot. And it was the first one to own that title, because it was supposed to be more of a realistic aspect. There's no magic or anything like that. I mean, obviously, there's
magic of plot armor.
Yeah. Well, there's science to it, that's all I'm going to say. Because of their seed, whatever, I don't know. But, you know what I mean? Like, they can't explain how Kira survived a nuke. And when they do, it just makes it worse.
If by wish Kira back, you mean bombard Fukuda with death threats.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Wackymodder.
Wait a minute.
What
I just had to say something there.
What the hell of an entrance.
Welcome, dude. Oh,
What's
man.
good?
What's going on, man?
Because I just had to say something right there. Didn't the fans wish Kira back? Yeah, by bombarding Fukuda with death threats. That's one way to do it.
Hey, it got the job done, okay?
I can't
For
believe.
all the wrong reasons.
Like, how do people go to such lengths, though? It doesn't make any sense. Why
I
are
mean-
you gonna send a death threat? Because
I mean, to be fair, the
Like-
same thing happened with Kishimoto with Naruto when he tried to kill off Hinata that first time.
I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, no, he got so many death threats that he brought her back immediately.
Oh
Almost.
my god.
Oh yeah, bro. Japan is relentless when it comes to anime with that kind of crap.
absolutely insane.
Oh yeah. Although I still think Kishimoto shouldn't have bent the knee, but yeah, like it's not the first time that kind of scenario has happened, and that's exactly what the Sea Destiny fans did when they killed off Kira, or at least seemingly for real that one time in Destiny, only to have him brought back the episode afterwards for the third time in a row.
But hey, it's okay. He shut off that off switch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, frickin'
Yeah, that
right.
blew
Okay,
back.
bro.
That blew back the Archangel and the Minerva.
Here
Yeah,
comes the
which-
Beam Saber. Oh, button press.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I
And I got-
die. Oh.
And I have to update that video of mine when I dissected the Freedom versus Impulse, because like I've learned so much new stuff about that fight since then that that it really warrants an
Well,
update.
why don't you
yeah,
tell us about what you learned?
I mean, for one thing, when I was doing that video in the past, I was using footage of Gundam Seed Destiny Special Edition, which at the time I thought they updated the visuals on,
Mhm.
and that was the definitive footage to be using at the time. But after checking out HD Remastered, I noticed a little detail that was not there in Sea Destiny Special Edition that was taken out for seemingly no reason. And that detail
Ah.
was, and I also checked the original, by the way. That detail was there in the original, but for some reason in Special Edition it was not there, and it was put back in HD Remastered. I was like, what the hell? Because this detail makes a huge difference, because it shows after the Freedom gets impaled, and the Minerva pulls off a Tannhäuser shot and hits the Archangel just as it was about to go under the water. Right as the blast is heading right for the Minerva, you see the Tannhäuser's beam dissipating for a brief second. And in Special Edition, they edited out that section for God knows what reason. But at the time, I thought that blast was strictly from the Freedom, but no. Turns out that it was a mix of two blasts combining. It was a mix of the Freedom going Nova, and it was the mix of the Archangel's, not of the Archangel, of the Minerva's Tannhäuser causing an antimatter explosion, which in turn, the two explosions were in such close proximity that they more or less merged. So the fact that
there's
Kira
no way.
survived that at all, the fact that even Shin survived that at all, is ridiculous.
So,
Absolutely asinine.
so not only that, we should probably give Kira heat for that, but Shin as well.
Dog must have frickin' washed himself with Old Spice explosion blocker body wash before he got in that thing.
Yo,
Like-
this level of garbage that they're doing with this changing of the this bullshit is just as guilt. It's like, imagine saying like in the end of Zeta, next thing you know we see a sequel and Shirako's still alive.
Yeah,
And then
like
someone goes like, oh, his new type powers were so strong he created a barrier in between him and the Zeta Gundam, so he didn't get crushed.
Yeah, he actually had
That's that level.
he actually hit up abs the day before
Well,
the gym, so he just
this
like
is the
flexed
same
that shit
level.
off.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
and not only that, but guys, he survived a shot from Genesis.
Well, no, what happened with the second Jesus Yamato moment was that the Providence kind of drifted into the way
Oh.
of Genesis's beam before it hit the mirror block. Right before it hit the mirror block, the beam from the nuclear blast of Genesis blew the Providence away, and the Providence went completely nuclear. Kira got shredded by that nuclear blast. We see the Freedom just getting absolutely torn to shreds. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of Genesis, The Justice goes nuclear and sets off a second nuclear explosion, and the 2 nuclear explosions from the Justice and the Providence cause Genesis to just go absolutely nova, and the whole thing blows up in an even bigger explosion. And if you think Kira should have survived that, you are mental, because that is impossible for anybody. At that point, Kira should have been dead, like Omega dead at that point. There is no excuse.
Well, it's like what I was telling you, Wacky. They never really gotten into depth about Kira's experimentation. What if they gave his skin like phase shift armor, but with what they name a plot armor?
Like I said, bro, it's Old Spice explosion blocker body wash. I'm telling you.
God, dude, I love Seed now.
Secret sponsorships, bro.
I love Seed now for some reason. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of, like, you ever play a game and, you get like your teammates and you're like, God, I don't want anything happening to these teammates. I love these teammates and I'm going to come up with all these bullshit reasons to keep them alive.
Well, if you're self-aware of what you're doing, then I say go to town. The problem is that Mitsuo Fukuda and at the time Chiaki Murasawa were actually trying to create something special, but being the corporate hacks that they were, all they did was end up just creating a bastardized version of 0079, Zeta, and CCA.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of the Seed Destiny movie, considering you guys were just talking about it, you guys familiar with Zeonic Scanlations?
Yes.
Well, Zeonic Scanlations back in August tweeted something about the Seed Destiny movie that legitimately made my blood run cold.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but go ahead, Wacky.
Does it? Because, like, when I read this, I legitimately was terrified that this was, and I prayed to Almighty God that this was just banter, like an idea that was
You prayed to
brought
Kira,
up
right?
at the time. No, he's a false god. Okay, he can burn in hell. But anyway, I'm gonna quote what it was. All right. So, Zeonic Scanlations on August 7th this year said, Seed movie info. Scenario is almost finished. Just waiting for final draft to get stamp of approval. Storyboards being worked on. That's the first bullet point.
Mm-hmm.
Second bullet. Wants to continue the story of the characters. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But then the third bullet came, and my blood ran cold. Talked about how interesting 20 Kira clones as enemies would be.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about earlier.
I legitimately had my blood run cold, and I was like, please, for the love of God, tell me this is just an idea that never came to pass. Because that is horrifying to even think about from a writing perspective.
I don't want to be the devil's advocate here.
Go ahead.
It kind of
It's gonna be good.
Knowing how ridiculous this show is, it does not really surprise me.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would not put that past Fukuda from doing that. That's what makes it so scary.
And being how ridiculous the characters are and antagonists are in that show, they probably would try.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta
like I
figure
said.
they couldn't kill him with nukes, so they gotta kill him with himself.
Yeah,
must make money off them.
they couldn't kill him with self-destructing a mobile suit right in his face with the cockpit completely sliced open. They couldn't kill him with not one but 2 nuclear blasts combined to blow up a giant weapon of mass destruction to blow him up, and they couldn't even kill him with his own reactor blowing up in his everything, combined with the antimatter explosion of another weapon blowing up in close proximity to it. You cannot kill this dude. This dude is literally divinely intervened by something.
I'm pretty sure he could walk on water at this point.
I would not be surprised.
Yo, Kira's the kind of homie where you could take a mobile suit beam saber and just stick the emitter over his body, and you'll see him climb out the back.
Dog,
He's
he
that
would walk
kind of
on the
guy.
beam blade. This
He
dude
would just walk through it.
legitimately-
It
Yeah.
would do like a far shot, and it shows the beam saber being emitted over his body, and you just see a black silhouette just walking out of the beam saber.
He'll
Exactly.
probably tell him, like, all right, I'm kind of done on this side. Let me turn over.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Kira would give absolutely zero craps about
And
that.
the director, the original director for Seed or Seed Destiny, he passed away, didn't he? Or was it
No,
the
that's
producer?
Chiaki Murasawa, the writer.
The
Of Seed
writer.
and Destiny, who is also, or was, I should say now, the wife of Mitsuo Fukuda at the time.
Mm.
So they've been like a dynamic duo together because they've done a lot of animes together. I think they also did Cyber Formula GPX as well. But
Okay.
but the thing about Mitsuo Fukuda is, and I'm going to have this go on record because I've said this multiple times, Mitsuo Fukuda is the Joel Schumacher of Japan. He is one of the biggest corporate hacks in the anime industry. He is right up there with Reki Kawahara, the writer of Sword Art Online, in my opinion. There is only one project that he's ever done that was actually good, and it was not even by himself. And that was Gear Fighter Dendo. That was by far the best anime that Mitsuo Fukuda has ever worked on. And again, it was not by himself. He collabed with a second director with that one.
So he didn't have a lot of control.
Yeah, he didn't have full control. Someone else was holding his hand and probably twisting his arm at the same time. And what happens when you have... And then people always try to tell me, has Mitsuo Fukuda changed over the years? Maybe the Destiny movie has a shot of being good. Maybe he's learned his lesson. And to that I said, have you watched Cross Angie by any chance?
Oh God, yes.
That'll clear that question up immediately.
No, CJ T-Bone.
Cross-Angie.
No, don't want. It's like imagine Seed Destiny-ish.
Imagine Gundam Seed being a Yuri hentai.
Yeah, that's basically. Imagine like these girls' pilot suits are like the female pilot suits are like bikinis.
If you can even call them pilot suits.
If you could call
very nice.
It's barely clothes. Yeah, it's just basically
The actual machine concepts are pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing though. They would be cool in Cross Angie. The paramales would have the right ingredients to be good mobile suit designs, or mecha designs, I should say. But the problem is their stupid motorcycle modes that leave the pilots completely exposed to everything. If they didn't have that, they would be fine. I would have no problems with them
they're
whatsoever.
fighting fire-breathing dragons at that.
And lightning.
Breathing
dragons at that.
Let's not even talk about like the music cannons that they've got.
Oh, the music.
They've got like
with Bilkis and all that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think I've seen this, but it was so unmemorable. It was just so forgettable that it's just.
Did you watch it for
I
research
just forgot.
purposes?
No, I don't. I think I just saw the mech. I'm pretty sure I just saw the mech.
Did you watch it for the
Imagine-
plot, or
Oh.
did you watch it for the plot, or did you watch it for the plot?
Well, that depends. That depends what your definition of plot is.
I just saw the mech.
You know,
designs,
plot.
and I was just like, I
Imagine
saw the
you're
mecha
like,
designs, and I was like, oh.
imagine you're in the middle of battle and like your paramel, and all of a sudden you hear like Taylor Swift's newest album starts like playing behind you, and all of a sudden you're getting blasted by like a cannon, like a freaking
Exactly.
music cannon.
So
Those are weird,
Yeah,
so-
like if you ever had any doubt in your mind that Mitsuo Fukuda could have possibly changed throughout the years, just watch Cross Angie, and that will clear that up immediately.
I didn't know. I
because-
didn't know he worked on Cross Angie.
Oh yeah,
my
he was
God.
he was the producer of Cross Angie.
Oh, that makes it worse. Because
Yeah, he wasn't the director, but he was the producer of it, and he jerked himself off so much to where there are so many Gundam Seed Easter eggs in Cross Angie, including one character as well by the name of Tusk, who is a Kira Yamato shout-out, to the point where he even cheats death one time because of it.
it's been a long time since
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but
Like, legit, Cross Angie is what happens when Mitsuo Fukuda jerks off to himself. Shamelessly.
and the thing is that if you watch Cross Angie, then you compare, and then you watch like Seed or Seed Destiny. Oh my God, the resemblance is there. It looks like the same exact team worked on it.
Yeah, you'd think, right? I mean, if you look, even the opening to Cross Angie, opening 1, it straight up like plagiarizes things from Seed Destiny's openings all across the board.
All right, well, Wacky, thank you for ruining my night.
Yeah, so
Because I'm sitting here
Never
like
do
trying to defend it, because I'm like, you know what, it might be good. you know what I mean? Like, you know, we all know like what the reputation that Seed and Seed Destiny has, and what also has a common is that everybody talks shit about, you know, Jesus Yamato and some of the plots and the stories, whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, maybe, you know, it's been 20 years. Maybe they might do something different. Maybe something fresh. Maybe something new. But if these same guys are working on it,
Yep. Not really looking good for you there, bro.
yeah.
But also, in regards to what you said about Shin before, have you by any chance, what's it called, seen any translated playthroughs of Super Robot Wars Z by any chance?
No, believe it or not, I just now starting to play any of the Super Robot games. I've just started playing Super Robot 30.
Okay, fair enough. Because here's the thing. Even though Super Robot Wars Z is not in English, there are translated playthroughs of it online of people like playing the game while translating the dialogue as they play into English so that they can tell you what's being said. My boy Ethan Steele on YouTube has full playthroughs of Super Robot Wars Z that he talks in real time and tells what's being said. Now the reason why I said that is because Super Robot Wars Z flat out saved Gundam Seed Destiny, and they made it so much better that even Kenichi Suzumura, Shin Asuka's Japanese voice actor, has gone on record on interviews saying that he truly believes that Shin Asuka in Super Robot Wars Z is the true Shin Asuka.
Wow.
Not the one from the Destiny anime, it was this one. It has also gone on record that Mitsuo Fukuda himself does not like Super Robot Wars Z because he thinks that it's disrespectful and not faithful to him and his wife's creation. I think that should tell you everything you need to know about like how good Super Robot Wars Z is, if even Fukuda doesn't like it.
Well, see, I never played it, so and
I can link you to the full playlist of Ethan Steele's playthrough of it.
Oh hell yeah, I'll watch it.
I'll definitely link it to you in your DMs.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, I would definitely watch that. I think I would actually enjoy it because honestly, I like Shin. I like him way more than most of the other characters in Destiny or Seed. It's just that, you know, we were talking about it, I was like, man, you know, just midway through, it's like, you know, Durandal just pulled down his zipper and Shin's like, I would do whatever you say.
Because like me and the anime overviewer at the time were all saying the same thing at the time. The setup for Shin's character to develop was all right there for him. It was laid out like a red carpet. But instead of developing him, they threw it all away and just brought Kira back just to pad everything out. Which is ridiculous because Shin from episodes 1 through 27 was totally fine. He was way better than Kira, and in like every single way. He started out as more or less Camille Bidan 2.0.
Yeah.
Minus the autism.
Well.
But be that as it may, he had development and setup for him going, but it was all thrown away.
Yeah, and it's so comparable because like think about, I mean, this is probably maybe a bigger IP, but think about Indiana Jones. You ever watch Indiana Jones and he has like his buddy Short Round?
Oh yeah.
That's like, you know, doing the story, like you're doing that whole build up on Indiana Jones, and then midway in the movie, you know, Indiana Jones is not the main character anymore. It's Short Round.
Yep.
You're like, what the
exactly?
Fuck? Yeah, that's basically what they did. They made him a side piece. Then whenever Kira lost that battle, there were a lot of people were raging, saying, "No, that shouldn't never happen. Kira's the ultimate coordinator. It just doesn't make sense." But then again, him surviving that explosion doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, there's so many counters to that. I can make a novel out of them.
And sometimes,
like
oh, go ahead,
the Church of Yamato back in the day was a spectacle to behold. I really hope those guys don't come back again because I haven't heard a peep out of them since like early 2016. But because of Project Ignited, I fear they might resurge again. But I'm praying that I'm wrong.
Oh, they're doing a lot of projects right now because they're doing Eclipse as well. But Eclipse, I think it's just
Eclipse is surprisingly not too shabby so far. I'm actually digging what I'm seeing so far. I'm just hoping it doesn't go off the rails because with Eclipse, Fukuda has absolutely nothing to do with Eclipse. So that's probably why it's much higher quality than Seed and Destiny right now, but because it's part of the main story, that's what I'm being careful with, because Seed and Destiny, Seed has a bunch of flaws, but Destiny second after episode 27 is where it just goes completely off the rails. So I'm hoping they at least make it as best as they can with that in mind, just to see what happened in between Seed and Destiny.
And so look, I'm actually interested in being film and stuff like that. I actually do want to go to school for it. So I was actually talking to local, movie filmmakers and all that, and I was like, what makes a movie get approved? Because they said that it doesn't have to be great stories. They said will get this approved. They said that all it takes is for you to submit your story to a board. They'll read over your script, and because they don't like the name of the main character, they could close the script saying, hey, better luck next time. And they said that usually the reason why you see a lot of like remakes and a lot of reboots and stuff like that, because people know that IP. Imagine like remaking Indiana Jones. People know how popular Indiana Jones is. People know how popular Star Wars is. And a lot of people from the higher ups will be like, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and reboot it because everybody knows Star Wars. Everybody likes Star Wars. Let's go with Star Wars.
It's funny you should make that comparison, because I've been saying since 2019 that Seed Destiny and the Disney Star Wars trilogy are very comparable, because they have very much similar flaws to each other, because they over rely on pandering to nostalgia and they take so much material from past Gundam entries, in this case the Universal Century, 0079, Zeta, and CCA, and they just bastardize it in their own way that completely does not even comprehend the whole point of those series to begin with, and instead just focuses on style over substance instead of actual storytelling and characters and all that.
Yeah, because all they're worried about is like, the thing like Seed, Seed was popular when it first came out. Seed and Seed Destiny.
In Japan, yeah.
In Japan, yeah. So I guess whenever they presented like, hey, you know what? The 20th anniversary is coming up next year, which is crazy. I can't believe it's been 20 years.
Yeah, right.
And they're going to like, hey, you know what? People know what this is. Yeah, and look how much money this made us 20 years ago. Let's repeat what we did back in the day. We'll use the same people. We'll try to keep it as original as possible, so that way older and newer fans might like it. And they're going to be like, all right, here's how much. Oh, here's $30 million. We're going to go ahead and finance you guys for $30 million. Make our money back on sales. That's basically,
Right.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. Oh, man, wacky, man. I'm sitting here trying to be the middle guy here. Like, you know what? Maybe it might be good, but damn, man.
That's a healthy position to come from. It's just
It is.
when you learn more about it, it becomes harder and harder to maintain that position when it comes to Seed. Like, the walls start closing in more and more once you get more educated on just how insane and nonsensical the development of Seed really was. Like, for example, have you ever heard, or rather read, I should say, because it's a transcript, one particular interview from November 23rd, 2003 with Mitsuo Fukuda at Kyoto University?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
You're way more informed than I am.
Yeah, like that, because this interview, this interview would require a podcast of its own, because this interview has to be one of the cringiest, most unintentionally hilarious interviews I've ever read in my life. And I just like to point out, before the interview even began, Fukuda repeatedly said, no autographs or handshakes, no tape recording or video recording, and no use of cell phones. And he repeatedly said, please don't post this interview online. So what did people do? They didn't record it, they transcribed it. And it has been verified multiple times throughout the years, ever since this event.
I'm surprised he didn't make him sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh yeah, I would have done so if I was him. I totally would have done so if I was him, because of how much of an idiot Fukuda is. Because here's the thing, Fukuda's words, when you hear Fukuda in interviews, take his words with an avalanche of salt, because he is not to be trusted. He has contradicted himself so many times throughout so many interviews. Whenever he gets backed into a corner, he does one of two things. One, he ass pulls something completely out of nowhere to get himself out of a situation, or number two, he pulls an Akira Toriyama and plays dumb, as if he just didn't know something. and he does this in this interview multiple times. I will
Wow.
link you the transcript, and I guarantee this interview is so notorious throughout the Gundam fandom that it's basically left for laughs at this point. If you wanted to dissect this thing, it would require a whole entire separate podcast for it due to how long the interview is. It's like 20 something questions.
Well, CJ and T-Von usually don't have anything to do, so I'll let them do that.
Yeah, oh definitely. Yeah, trust me. Bring as much Jack Daniels and weed because you're gonna need it.
Jack Daniels and weed.
That is not
no.
an exaggeration. That's a warning. This interview legitimately makes my brain cells want to commit self-genocide.
Well, you know he's working on the live-action Gundam project, right?
Wait, who?
You know who?
What? Mitsuo Fukuda?
Oh yeah.
Wait.
No,
Where
I'm
did you hear
joking.
that?
I'm joking with you.
I was about to say, don't give me a freaking heart attack, won't you?
Yeah, you're gonna have the main character like explode and walk out of his, mobile suit. Like
Well,
no problem.
considering how well Netflix Cowboy Bebop went, I doubt
Oh
the Gundam
man, it's
Netflix
canceled.
is gonna before how long did it take it to happen? 1 week?
Not even.
Yeah, like dead ass.
And well,
Considering how Netflix's success with anime live action adaptation is, I don't really see myself holding my breath for the Gundam one coming up. I'm more curious about the one that Bandai is working on directly without Netflix, but we'll have to see.
well, I like who's working on the project. One of the producers, he worked on projects like Narrative, Unicorn. He's been with Sunrise since 1997. So
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah, like
that gives me
I'll-
hope.
Yeah, that does give me a little bit of hope there, but as I've learned throughout the years when it comes to anything, when it comes to anything like that, especially with live action Gundam adaptations or live action anime adaptations in general, is that hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I do believe that. Because like I was telling them, I was like, I like who's on this project. I know the names, and I looked up, who was working on the cast. They all
Right.
work on similar projects. They all worked on Pacific Rim, Kong Skull Island, and they all work together. So I'm like, okay, that's actually good because that means they're familiar with each other's work. They know how maybe like one works, how with the other teamwork, communications, whatever. So I'm like, all right, that's
Right.
great. Who's one of the producers? And oh God, I forgot his name, but he is who I was telling you about is producer for Narrative, Unicorn, and he's basically second in charge under the director.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good sign. But the thing about Narrative was that the problem with Narrative is that with the movie adaptation in particular, it should not have been just one single movie. It should
No.
have been a multi-OVA series just like Unicorn was. Because due to that fact, they had to cut out so much important crap from the novel version of Narrative, which is currently the definitive version of Gundam Narrative as it is. But because of the fact that they narrowed it down to just one movie instead of a multi-OVA series, they had to cut out so much crap. Like, I think the most criminal thing they cut out was the backstory of Zoltan, which is a huge problem because of the fact that Zoltan Arkanin, he was kind of just someone who came out of nowhere as like an unstable attempt at creating Full Frontal when he had a lot more backstory in the novel than he did in the movie. And as a result, people were like, wait, who is this dude? When in the movie version, when they first saw him there. And I do not blame them for thinking that way. That's why I think the movie of Narrative is a 7 out of 10. Like, it's decent, but it could have been so much better if they would have made it multi-OVA and instead of just one movie. But I think, like, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I went into Narrative not having any background on it. Like I didn't know anything about it, and honestly, like you said, I felt like there were so many pieces missing that I couldn't make good sense of. Like you probably could if you've read anything farther into it. So
Yeah.
to me, it
Go
felt
on.
like an incomplete work for me, and that's just because there was so much information missing that I didn't know about because they didn't give you any chance to see it.
Right, because they cut it out from the novel version. If you were to go and read the novel version of Gundam Narrative, you would love it way more. I would say the novel version of Gundam Narrative is a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's
Is it
really,
a novel,
really damn
or
good.
is it
That's a
like
novel.
manga?
No, it has a manga adaptation, but after checking out the manga adaptation, the novel version, the novel version still has like it's a photo novel basically. It's a picture novel. So it does show you a lot of things that happen as you're reading it.
Okay.
As you read through the pages, it has like a lot of artwork, it has a lot of depictions of events. So yeah, like the novel version, which was the original one by the way, it is probably the definitive one to go with if we can find it translated. But yeah,
I get
you
it. Yeah, it's because of because it's crazy because you have so much information in the book, but man, like imagine trying to explain all that information in a short film.
Yeah, which
That's
is why I say, why didn't you just make it multi OVA like
Yeah.
Unicorn? That would have fixed that problem.
Oh, for sure. But even the OVA was different than the manga.
Well, yeah, the
Yeah.
OVA in Unicorn was different from the novel version of Unicorn as well, but the
That's still
changes they
great.
did make to it, well, they still got the whole story in it. They didn't really cut much, it's just that they changed the way certain things happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes some for better, some for a few things for worse, but mostly for the better, I would say.
Oh, for sure. I agree with you on that. Do you have any Wacky, I got a question for you. Do you have any hopes with the new series coming out, The Witch from Mercury?
Honestly, it's too early to call. Like we didn't really hear too much about it.
There's not enough
But
on it.
I
Yeah.
have hope for it at least. Considering that I said the same thing with Iron-Blooded Orphans, and up until the last 6 episodes, it was relatively good. Like the first season of Iron-Blooded Orphans was fantastic, solid
I
9 out of
loved it.
10.
Yeah.
Loved
It's
it.
just that
Yeah.
the last 6 episodes of the second season of Iron-Blooded Orphans just completely ruined everything. I wish those last 6 episodes could be redone, because everything before that, while yes, it was inferior to season 1, was still in the boundaries of being good for the most part. It's just once McGillis got a hold of Bale, it's like everything just went horribly wrong.
I agree on that.
Yeah, like McGillis was hyped into oblivion, trying to say, "Oh, I'm gonna reform Gallahorn. I'm gonna take control of this organization and make it proper, and make everything right." And his plan turned out to be just Mabale. Like, what the hell are you thinking, bro? What is wrong with you?
Well, they spent like almost a complete 2 seasons like building up hope that hey, there's a future for these people. Things are going to be okay. And you've got losses along the way. I'm not going to say who it was, but we all know who I'm talking about in like season 1 going and dying.
One thing I like,
anyways,
the only thing I liked about season 2 is that nobody viewed themselves as the bad guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there were shades of gray, but
Yeah,
yes,
that's the only thing I like about it.
I think the primary bad guy of season 2 was Eok. Let's be real here.
100%, 100%.
Everybody was cheering.
Yeah, like despite the fact that Tekadon got wiped out in the end, with the exception of those who got away, Eok's death was cathartic as hell.
Yeah.
Like that was like the Akihiro got the play of the game with Eok's death right there. Right there, that the kill cam was beautiful.
No, and I will say this, like, I gotta give credit where credit is due. They made a character where everybody hated equally.
Oh yeah, no, dog.
And it was the most satisfying thing I've ever seen in Gundam.
I have not seen a single like insane amount of concentrated hate towards one character since Shin, when Destiny was airing. When
that's
More
true.
Phantom Flay?
That's true.
When you have literal petitions roaming around to kill off Eok, like at that point, I think you might have made a mistake, bro.
I mean, they do. I will say this: the team on Iron-Blooded Orphan did a good job. They made somebody who we all hated, and hate's a strong word, you know, but we all hated equally.
Yes,
that's appropriate. Yeah.
Even the most hardcore of IBO fanboys hate Eok. Like even Forrest Diego, one of the most hated individuals in the Gundam fandom, even he hates Eok. Like he knows that he's an idiot.
Do we know the Witch from Mercury is in the IBO universe?
I have no idea if it's. From what I understand, it seems to be its own unique thing. Like I'm
yeah,
still
it's
waiting.
supposed to be standalone.
I'm
Um,
still
anything
waiting.
IBO.
yeah,
for,
yeah. It says it's been 7 years. Yeah, it's been 7 years since IBO, and it's his own. Yeah, so it's going to be its own anime.
Yes,
Is it?
from what I understand.
Yeah, it says it's been 7 years since since Gundam's been anything on its own. So it
So
might be
wait a
its own
minute.
anime.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's
Yeah.
from what I understand that it's gonna be its own like independent entry from like another alternate time period.
See,
But we'll have to
IBO's
see.
yeah, IBO's gonna get its own thing without your hunt.
What I want to
thing.
see
Yeah.
with IBO at this point is not only Yuder Hunt because they've been cock teasing us with that for a long time now.
Man.
But
Mhm.
what I want to see is the Calamity Wars, a prequel to IBO.
I think
where we
everybody
get to
would
see
love that.
everybody
That's gonna
wants to see
happen.
that.
It's
I
gonna
would
happen.
love it.
72 Gundams fighting against mobile armors piloted by AI. That's Rise of the Machines crap right there, bro. You think
Yeah.
that would not be awesome?
You mean
It'd
you
be
gotta
great.
you gotta think like imagine like we all seen what Barbados Lupus Rex did at the end of the episode. Imagine that, but
mean-
72 of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I have
I'd
a
like
question
to-
though.
Absolutely.
Wasn't
I think it'd be cool to like see like the early version of Barbados.
It'd be
Even
equivalent.
if-
It would be equivalent to 20 Kira Yamatos.
Let's not think about that.
no, but wasn't
I'm sorry.
was Barbados's armor was it
Nano
always
Lemon?
that what you call it, that bear looking?
What do you mean?
I
Or
mean,
is it
Barbados.
incomplete?
To be fair, that's a good question because
Yeah.
mobile suits from the Calamity era, they look different in the past, like than they do now. Because
Especially-
I mean, we kind of had to dig a lot of them up.
Especially the Astroth. Have you seen the
That's what
original
I'm saying.
Astroth?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was hella different from what it was now.
Yeah.
Like its first form, the only reason it looks like, based on what I've taken in from the anime, it looks like it only got more armor parts because they were makeshift from that point in time because they built a lot of the new stuff onto it, and they
Right.
found some other parts. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. It might the mobile suits from back then might not look as bare because even Bale looked more normal, right? So it's
Yeah.
just like
yeah, that's a good point. That
Right,
and
but I think Bale,
Kamar's.
wasn't Bale like the first one though?
Bell was the
remember
first
correctly?
one. Bell was the first
Yeah.
Gundam, yeah. And
so
it can
that
even
could
fly.
be an idea.
Yeah, that may or may not have something to do with why Bale has maintained its look. Probably because it's the first ever one, and what's it called, Agniga Kairu,
Yeah.
kind of probably just kept it like that without modifying it at all.
Well, they kept
Those
it
are
in
shiny.
they basically locked it in storage and basically kept it maintenance throughout the years. What,
Yeah,
like 300
probably.
years, yeah.
Although Gucci looks pretty bare too. It looks pretty
It-
skinny as well.
I don't know. See, I like
Mhm.
the Kamars. Kamars has got some pretty, armor to it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Before Galileo like modified it multiple
Well,
times. but
they say that was his original form though. Kamar.
yeah, at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know, but see, whenever I was looking at this, I thought, oh, maybe it's talking about like UC, but I was like, you know what? It's not talking about like the Jupiter Empire. So,
Yeah. Now I'm still waiting for my crossbow.
oh
anime,
man,
damn-
it ain't
damn
gonna
right.
happen. If
Or at
it
least
does,
not for a while.
not for a while. I'm aiming for 10 more years.
Every single time they put up a poll, what do you want the next Gundam anime to be? Crossbone always wins by a landslide.
Guess
Every
we'll
single
go ahead
time.
and do Age Season 4.
Oh god.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Don't say that.
Well, I mean, age is something that had potential,
It
but
did.
because of the fact that Akihiro Hino was a rookie with anime at the time, and he was always used to handling video games, he paced it like it was a video game, and that really crippled it in the end.
and see,
And that's exactly what Brandon talked about whenever we brought it up on one of the previous episodes. That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like a kid with a 3D printer who was like, "Oh, we got a problem. I'm gonna make a new part with my printer."
Exactly, because again, like if a more experienced director was behind the wheel, it could have easily worked perfectly. But
Yeah.
even still, age for what it is still a 6 out of 10. It's all right.
yeah.
And Memory of Eden did fix a lot of problems, specifically relating to Zehart the most. Like Memory of Eden straight up fixed Zehart's character, and it completely fixed the battle with the H2 Darkhound and the Legulus, and made it a million times better than what it was in the first time. Because like the first time it lasted like not even a minute and 30 seconds. Now In Memory of Eden, it's like practically 5 minutes, and it was so
Wow.
much better. And it was personal too. Like they weren't just straight up like clashing sabers and shooting. No, they were ripping armor off of their suits and just beating the crap out of each other.
And I really like what Age was trying to do. So the reason why it was animated the way it was because they were trying to aim for a younger demographic. Whenever kids turn onto it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this looks familiar. This looks like Pokemon," And I really think it did a good job at that. Except, maybe the younger demographic wasn't expecting, like you said, a guy's arm being ripped off and being beaten across.
Oh yeah, like we straight up see the what's it called? We see the Darkhound and the Legilus just ripping each other's like armor off, like their chests and everything, just punching the crap out of each other's cockpits.
That was a good
And
fight.
like,
I actually enjoyed it.
oh yeah, it was a beautiful fight. Absolutely beautiful. A million times better than the original one. Plus, Legilus looks way better in red.
It got quiet when you said that.
It's true. Because again, if you look at Legilus in like, or let me rephrase that. It looks better in red when Zehart is piloting it. Because like when Isolkant is piloting it, it looks fine in Gundam colors. But because Zehart is the sanctioned Char clone, it looks so much more appropriate that he'd customize it with his red color.
Remember though, not only that there was a Char clone in there was a Kira clone.
And who would that? Oh, you mean Kyo?
Kyo.
Well, here's the thing though. Kyo didn't start that way. He kind of just turned into that once he got the Gundam Age FX.
Yeah.
And yes, but here's the funny thing. Even despite the fact that Kyo became a Kira clone, the thing is that even despite that, he was still handled much better compared to Kira himself. Because unlike Kira, Kyo was clearly in the wrong with that way of thinking, and everyone around him was still calling him out for being an idiot because of it.
And I like that.
Unlike Kira, where nobody called him out on his BS at any point except Athrun one time, and that did not turn out very well because all it took was Kira two-shotting the Savior in order to get him to think the way he does.
Man, I'm still pissed off about that. I thought that was a pretty cool design, and they just were like gone immediately.
Like the Savior got absolutely ripped to shreds. Just he straight up two-shotted it.
Yeah, basically. That was such disappointment too.
Exactly.
Like the rest of the show, but
Well, most
God.
especially after episode 27.
Tonight, your lucky numbers are going to be 27, 5, 3.
Exactly.
Hey,
Now, with that said, guys, I gotta bounce, but it's been fun. Hopefully, if you guys bring up Gundam again, I'll hop in.
Hey, Wacky,
Yeah.
we're always
It's good, man. Nice
it's
having
great
you.
having you, man. And guys, look, check out his channel. I posted his channel in the Discord.
Already followed.
Already followed, yeah. Follow. Hey,
You don't
subscribe
have
to
do
this.
that, trust. You really don't
Oh,
have
we
to
know.
subscribe to me.
Look. We know we don't have to do that. But look, this guy's really big to the community. Support this guy.
If you mean big, you mean polarizing, because I did that
Hey,
to
I didn't
myself.
say that.
No, I'm saying it right now, bro. I am like one of the most polarizing figures in the Gundam fandom, and it's entirely my fault that I did, because I did a lot of stupid stuff in the past, picked a lot of stupid fights with people I shouldn't have, burnt a lot of bridges with people I shouldn't have. But I have long since atoned for my sins since then. But you know the internet. It never
Yeah.
forgives and never forgets.
And always keeps his receipts.
Did you guys hear that? That was the sound of people like Kira fans turning their reactors back on.
Exactly.
They're getting ready to jump back in the comments and spice them up.
Hopefully the Church of Yamato doesn't have a resurgence because of Project Ignited.
Oh,
because
they're
those
underground
guys,
right now.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Oh, they're underground right now with the Bible, like waiting for the word.
quote unquote Bible.
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah,
But
quote
anyway,
unquote.
I'll talk to you guys later, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah,
It's been
likewise.
fun.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, man.
Thank you for
Peace
joining,
out,
Wacky.
guys.
Peace out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Wackymodder84, guys. I'm telling you, look, join the Discord. I posted his channel right there in the link. Subscribe to this man. This man, when I first found this dude video, I was rolling in my chair. It was this dude was hilarious.
What a guy.
Great, yeah, he's a great guy. He really is.
Never talked to him before, man.
Never
that
talked
was
to him?
hilarious.
Yeah, he's
best entrance I've seen so
Yeah,
far.
and wow, he was very informed about the production. I really learned a
Yeah,
lot more things.
man, once you guys start talking about age and the finer details of Seed and all that stuff, I'm lost, man.
It's like you talk about Zeta in front of me.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know anything about
Now,
it.
speaking of Zeta, while we still got time, that was actually our next topic. But man, when Wacky surprised me when he joined, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and listen to this man.
Surprise is always welcome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So as we were saying, as we were talking about the Witch from Mercury, we really got no information. I tried looking up everything about it. Nothing new. Yeah, nothing. It might be his own little thing. I have seen posts saying that this is the first, Gundam series that goes on in his own era. 7 years since IBO. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's his own thing.
It's a brand new era.
Brand new era. Which is fine. I'm all about expansion. All right, guys. So let's get to our final topic. Actually, I should rephrase. All right, why is Zeta good? Our thoughts.
Where did this question come from?
I was whenever I was talking about the Star Wars Hotel, for some reason Zeta Gundam came to me. I don't know why. For some reason,
disclaimer: I'm on episode 17 right now, so
Yum.
be as vague as you can.
Snap! I mentioned a spoiler, and I don't. Oh snap! I didn't
It's
realize
okay.
I did.
I knew this. I knew that happens. I know that happens at the end. So.
Yeah, I mean,
that one's a big deal.
My bad. I am so sorry. Oh no.
I already knew about that one. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about like this, if you're playing like any of the Gundam games and stuff like that talks about like some of the cutscenes and stuff, I'm sure he already knows.
I've seen a GIF over it like 10,000 times on iFunny over the years. So.
Man, while we have this discussion, I'm just gonna play Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam to get my headspace into the Zeta Gundam universe and remember why I like it so much and why I think it's so good. I'm just gonna do this for myself right now.
Go right ahead.
I can't believe I hated on it.
You
like
hated
one of the first
on it?
few episodes. Well, I like one of the first. I don't want to say hated on it, but I don't know. I guess when we were doing like our top 10s and all, or bottom 10s, I think it was on like one of my bottom 10 lists. And here I am on episode 17, and I'm like, holy shit, man, this is actually really good. Young me who watched or tried to watch it couldn't get into it because it's more of an adult mindset show in my opinion.
For sure. See, and the thing is, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I watched it whenever I was too young, and here I am at 23 trying to watch it. I'm like, man, this is seriously good.
Yeah, the original Gundam series. The reason why people like it so much is because it's the original. It's nostalgic, and not only that, I really think Gundam did not pick up where it was at until it reached Zeta. Really, I'll be honest with you. I don't think Gundam reached its most popularity until Zeta came out.
It found its identity.
It found its identity. And a lot of people don't know this, but the original Gundam was canceled after 3 episodes. And what brought it back was Toy Cells. Toy Cells brought it back. But when it brought back, it wasn't, aired for its full 50 episodes. It was only aired for 43. So why is Zeta good? Our thoughts. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight is because whenever I was looking on info about the Star Wars Hotel, for some reason when I think of Star Wars I think of Zeta Gundam, and let me explain. So do you guys ever watch The New Hope, the first ever Star Wars that came out?
Yeah.
So you notice obviously it started out in space. You see a Star Destroyer. Yeah, spoiler alert. You see the Star Destroyer come out trying to shoot at a...
Spoiler alert on a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah. Yeah. You see a Star Destroyer come out trying to capture the Corellian ship.
Penta 4, I believe it was called.
Penta 4, yeah. And Tenta 4. And whenever it captured, okay, look, and people talk about this is the Empire. They have trained soldiers, and they have the rebellion or the rebels trying to fight them, but the Empire is just so overpowering. I'm sitting here thinking, this sounds just like Zeta.
Titans.
Yeah, with the Titans, the Titans make their presence known. They know they're not just any ordinary underdogs. These guys are more specially trained than regular Federation forces. They bring fear within the Earth sphere. You know,
I think it even like tells you in like one of the first few episodes of Zeta that you could be like the same rank in the regular like Federation versus the Titans, but the Titan actually like the ones in the Titans actually has higher authority or something.
about like a rank.
Even if they're like the same rank.
And actually, it exposes. Well, I'm sure a lot of people know about this, and people love this juicy information. Like they love this juicy info about
Juicy.
government doing shady stuff. Moist. Sorry.
Oh,
Gotta
government
help
does
myself
do
there.
shady stuff. Can't
Yeah.
confirm.
So it's like special operations and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It shows that like even like the special operations guys, they're full of themselves. They're cocky. Not all of them, obviously, but like they go through a lot of stuff, right? When you go behind the scenes and do all these operations, you have to make decisions that are messed up. I mean, I'm not a special operations guy, but you know, I speak to some people and you hear some stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it shows Zeta Gundam exposes the idea of like the special operations guys are kind of corrupt sometimes, and they lose that sense of humanity. Like when you see the way these guys, the Titans, they just kill, and then it's like, oh, it's a Zeon. Oh, I'm gonna slaughter him. He's not a human person. He's a waste of space. He's a waste of flesh. The way they look at the Zeon forces and AUG forces, they just look at them as like just they see people as freaking just meat sacks there to get blown up. They're just ruthless. Like look at Yazan, for example. I don't know, but he's he's brutal.
Yeah.
He's just there. He just lives for to shed blood. He just loves it. He lives for the bloodshed.
You know, me and my look. I know we're just engaged, but I gotta get used to saying wife. You know, because I'm going to be saying wife a lot longer than fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hopefully, you know, we were watching the Hunger Games over the week, and the thing is, like, you know, there's a government. You know, if nobody hasn't seen the Hunger Games, it's basically a government that puts 12 of these districts into a game. They're killing each other, and basically, as long as you don't rebel, you listen, you shut up, you sit down, you know, you live. Except, you know, if you get to the Hunger Games, you may or may not die. This is what the Titans remind me of. They remind me of that particular government where you like, hey, you sit down, you listen to what we have to say, or we have the right to kill you. Like, what was it? There was this one scene. I don't know if you've seen it. But basically, well, I'm not going to try to spoil it. I'll keep it, you know, vague. But there's this one scene in this series where the Titans did something very atrocious. And it really tells you, like, what the Titans are willing to do in order to maintain control. Same thing with, you know, Star Wars. You know, Leia was like, you know, I'm not giving in. You know, screw you guys. And Vader says, okay, well, you know, he looks at Tarkin and he's like, let's blow up, you know, the planet, Alderaan. And they blow up Alderaan. And that's, like I said, when I look at, whenever I was looking at, thinking about Zeta, I was like, man, you know what? I like that they showed, but not tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
you know what's really cool?
Hmm.
Speaking on that Star Wars aspect,
Yeah.
like they don't give us exact numbers, but like they through like watching other shows like Star Wars Rebels and stuff, they expose the number. They give you the premise that a lot of people deserted the Empire after the first act of the Death Star on Alderaan.
Yeah.
A lot of people deserted the Empire from that. A lot of people actually like they didn't really flesh out the humanity of the Stormtroopers back in the day in the original movies, but like a lot of people left. They really realized how corrupt and messed up the Empire really is, and how far they're willing to go
You know,
to scare, to instill fear into the world, into the galaxy.
you know, yeah, I don't know if this is canon anymore because Disney bought them, but whenever the rebels attacked the Death Star, and whenever Tarkin was given the order to blow up Yavin 4, one of the gunners that was loading up the was loading up the gun actually delayed it on purpose because he felt so guilty what he did to Alderaan. He actually bought Luke some time.
Yo, I was actually speaking to my sisters when I saw that. I was like, I wonder what the guy who pulled that lever in the Death Star to fire that laser. I wonder what the guy who pulled that lever is going through.
Yeah, he has got the highest KD ratio of anybody in the galaxy.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
He
straight up
retired.
highest KD in the galaxy.
Probably got like 10 medals from that one trigger pull. from the slide, moving that slider to the rear.
Man can immediately prestige.
Can you imagine his kill streak rate?
That's what I'm talking
Man
about,
just
man.
bought his way to level 100 on the battle pass.
Yeah, immediately.
Look,
Rip.
and the thing is that I don't know. The thing about Zeta is just dark. Like it took a way darker turn than the original Gundam series, and they even tried making the atmosphere a lot more darker. And the thing was that they sat there and said, you know what? How can we make the Titans worse than Zeon? They did. The best way of making the Titans worse than Zeon is actually having the quote unquote, I'm just going to put it this way, quote unquote, protagonist group actually be the evil guys, the result of war. That's like us winning, let's say us winning World War II, and then something worse, came out of it. Where we are doing the same thing but worse. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
There's a lot of pretty important people dying so far that I've seen. And I mean, from what I've heard, there's a lot more to go.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I mean, what, you're on 17?
17, yeah.
Have you seen Victory?
I've not seen Victory, but
Oh my!
I watched a little bit of it and I dropped
Hey,
it.
it
And
makes
again, that was like over 10 years ago. So for all
Try
I know, it might be a bomb.
Oh, if you guys are
Try
wondering,
again, dude. I never watched it. I didn't even know it existed, and I didn't think much about it. I've only seen Victory on games, but man, dude, you know what? That show is actually pretty awesome.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Actually, really good.
after
Yeah,
this.
it's actually surprisingly amazing, and I think your exposure to the rest of the series will give you a different outlook on it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot after this because I've said the same thing about Zeta, like, oh, it seems not so great. Now I'm like freaking loving it. It's so good. I'm hooked on it.
what was a turn off for you? Like what?
Okay, so I had to have been like probably 10 or 11 whenever I first took a crack at it, right?
Mhm.
And admittedly, I didn't have quite as many series underneath my belt at the time. I'd watched Wing. I hadn't watched 00 yet, I don't think. I'd watched other few odds and ends, but yeah, I mean, I'd watch Wing. Like, how deep is that really? I hadn't seen the original series at that point.
I still haven't seen Wing yet. If it makes you feel better.
What? That's like a.
It
Well,
was
I
like-
guess
In a
I
pool,
like to say that's like an American staple.
yeah,
really.
in a pool in America, Wing is definitely like one of the most iconic mobile suits. Believe it or not, it was actually in a movie years back in 1998 with Will Smith.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's God, what was it called? The State or something. I don't remember. Basically, Will Smith. The government thinks that Will Smith knows something that he shouldn't, but he doesn't know anything. And the government's like basically spying on him and are after him. He ran by a store, and you see a Gundam figure, some type of Gundam figure. I think it's Wing.
That's cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man, you want to talk about somebody like ready to kill themselves every 5 minutes? Freaking hero. He's like, oh, we're about to get caught. Time to suicide. What? Stand down. All right, time to suicide.
I like to get both of them a bomb and see which one survives, Kira or Hero.
Yeah.
They'll probably
Oh.
hold hands walking out of the blast.
Look, you want to know something? Freaking hero. You know what? Next time Wacky's going to come in, I'm going to ask him about that. What he thinks of that one scene, and I'm not going to say it just because, if T-Von ever wants to watch it, but you know which one I'm talking about.
I know
where
which
he-
one
where he
you mean.
freaking...
You mean
Where
the great distance he falls?
No, the freaking fact that like in the scene where the explosion's going on, you just like see the suit completely disappear. And yeah, okay, the fall, okay, but yeah, how about the giant explosion that he just, yeeted himself
He
off
fell
of?
like 15 meters.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, on top of that, the freaking blast, come on.
I don't know.
Let's not forget the hospital scene where he's jumping out from the like 50th floor.
And broke his
pulls
broken
par-
leg.
Yeah, freaking pulls a parachute like 30 feet above the ground, smacks the ground, dislocates a shoulder, breaks a leg.
I don't know.
Dang. Yeah, maybe I should dive too deep into that. Totally off topic, but anyways.
No, that's fine. So you would say that when it comes to animations, do you think Zeta aged pretty okay?
Decently. It is definitely aged. I don't want to say necessarily in the bad way or in a bad way. I think it still might be more of a select taste on it personally. I'm super digging it though, honestly. I mean, um, I think it's really interesting how they, spoiler alert, have Char and Amuro and stuff back in it, and they completely, I guess not really Amuro, but like Char is basically acting like a completely different person, but you all know it's him.
It's so cool,
And
man. Seeing that the first time, man, holy, it's so
And
cool.
I don't,
It's just,
yeah,
I don't think it's
I know.
Char. Like, I don't think it's Char.
And you're right. That's the cool thing. He's like a totally different person, but
well-
it's still him.
Well, I mean, it is him, but what I mean by that is, I think it's the real
it's more
him.
castful.
I think it's
It's
the
more
real
castful than
him.
it is
No, well,
Char
yeah,
actionable.
yeah. Well, no, I take it back. I'm gonna take it back. Who do you think? And I think we mentioned this before, T-Von. No, I think we did, but
Yeah.
CJ wasn't here for this. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it again because I don't know if our thoughts change about it. Think about it. Whenever there was a thing from Batman, and I think this is a really good analogy comparing to Char. There was a scene from Batman where Batman went to a ball, and everybody was wearing a type of mask. You know, like those ballroom
Yeah,
dances
yeah.
where you wear a mask.
Yeah, yeah.
Bruce Wayne showed up and he wasn't wearing one, and they asked him, "Why aren't you wearing one?" And he said, "Because I'm already wearing a mask." And if you look at Bruce Wayne is the actual alter ego, while Batman is his true self. Do you?
Yeah, fair enough. I
you
see
know,
that.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
100%
like
on
who
that.
like who is Char? Is it Char? Okay, who is Casfell? Is Casfell true self is Char, or is his true self really as Casfell? You know, we
He
don't.
seems less fake in Zeta so far for me. I've not seen the whole thing, of course, but he seems less fake. Like he's not trying to be something he's not. He's giving friendly advice to Camille and stuff, and at least where I'm at so far with him interacting with Amuro and stuff, you can see they've got like a certain respect to each other, and he's like even offering advice to him, and they're kind of just talking and you know talking to him like a bro.
Yeah.
So far, I'm on episode 17. He's only been with Amuro for like 2 episodes, so
And the
forgive me if
reason
I'm
why,
talking ahead.
and the reason why I said that's casual, because that outlook has come from watching Gundam the Origin. Caswell's goal is to get revenge for his family, and then Char's goal is appear as a Zeon leader, to appear as a valiant soldier, a part of the Principality of Zeon regime, or the Zeonic regime. So it's like when I watch Zeta, it's like now he's like, oh well, I've kind of reached my goal. What do I do? The Ayuk, that's what he does. I'm gonna do what my father wanted. This is before he becomes broken. This is before the world breaks him. Thought the world broke him. You would think the world broke him like during the 1 Year War, and right before that. But I think he really broke after Zeta, and you'll see why. I don't want to spoil it, right? I want you to see it for yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's not give away big ones like that. But,
That's a one I'm never gonna ruin for you. But like, yeah. And like, so basically, why I think Zeta is such a good show is that it builds upon the foundations of what the first show did, and it just goes ham. It just goes deep. It goes deeper. It goes balls deep into what I think that's the peak of Tomino. Honestly. And it's
I'll be honest. I think the thing I'm liking the most so far is just the different perspective you have of Char. Really, I mean, you get a lot more screen time with him versus I think what you had in the original series, as him as like a person, rather than just somebody to shoot down.
And isn't it really cool seeing where the mobile suits went after the 1 Year War? Like, I remember when I first finished it, I'm like, what? How does the mobile suits change? And it's crazy how it's really cool seeing the mobile suits technology actually actively improve throughout the show.
Yeah, like the
you see it in the
360
first show.
view, the 360 view, like cockpits and stuff.
And the
I
sound
think they
of
introduced that early on.
Yeah, and the sound of the targeting systems, the sound of all the noises and the beam rifles and stuff.
Yeah,
And like the sound design is why I also love Zeta Gundam 2. I love how they kept the funky jazz music, like the jazz music and the cool sound effects, which stem from like different instruments, musical instruments. Like I forgot what the instrument's called, but you remember that new type sound that you hear
Oh
from
yeah,
from
like
Amuro?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just abandoned. That's an instrument. That's just an instrument. That's normally used for music. They just use it as a sign for I just love the sound design. And I feel like the newer shows, I feel like new anime in general don't have the same cool sound designs that shows had back in the day.
I'll agree with you on that. Now that I've kind of gotten really into this so far, I see that difference.
The music is not the same anymore. The music used to tell more of a story in my opinion. Now it's just like, let's take some artists who are popular and just shove the music in there. Or let's take a
Yeah.
music style that's popular and shove it in there. But
And
before
they're
it
not
was
great
like the
music.
music was part of the identity of Gundam.
It really adds like it adds to the drama in my opinion too.
Not only that, but I don't think the show would be as good as it was if Camille wouldn't have Quattro as the mentor. Throughout the series, he really teaches this guy like, hey, you know what, Camille, this is what you need to do. And not only here's the thing, not only he teaches Camille as a person, but he treats him like an equal.
Yeah, and
And-
CJ, oh, go ahead. You finish.
No, I mean, that's really what I was going to say. He treats him like an equal. And, and I think he sort of balances Camille out. Camille is this hothead kid who gets mad if you say something about his name, but then you have Quattro who he just kicks back. And I think he really helps balance the series throughout until Camille was able to do that on his own.
And
But,
in CJ, you noticing how Camille's reaction changes to the same thing throughout the show?
Yeah, so far, at the very start, like Brandon had said, Jared's like, Camille, that's a girl's name, and all of a sudden he's got Camille like beating the shit out of him, and now he's got, okay, I guess good example with where I'm at. They were on a Garuda, that giant transport ship, and they were getting chased by another ship. They told Camille not to go out. Camille went out, so caused a little bit of trouble. But he went back in and he was talking to Katz, and he's like, "Are you going to correct me? AKA get punched or slapped or
Yeah,
whatever."
he's accepting. He's
Yeah,
taking
he's like-
responsibility for his actions. He's just
Yeah,
like,
he's-
yeah, I know I did it, but
Yeah, he's like, I
I-
shouldn't have, and I see that, Lieutenant Quattro saved me, and he's like, well, I'm glad to see that you're at least learning, or it's good to see that you're at least learning from your mistakes that you did wrong, and that's not something that episode 1 Camille would have owned up on.
and I love his line when someone gets killed later on in the show, like not too deep into the show. You've probably seen it already when he says you should have stayed home. Before he went from like he went from like
Yeah.
I don't want to kill to like, you know what, this is the circumstance I'm living in, so screw it. And
Yeah.
now when he kills people, he's like, get out the way. They don't listen. You should have stayed home.
Now, my favorite
It
quote
wouldn't have
is
happened.
my
You should
favorite.
have
My,
listened.
my favorite quote is like, "Man, I should have changed my underwear." He legitimately just said that. I remember playing Gundam versus Zeta Gundam, and I remember hearing something like that. I was like, "Where the hell this came from?" I should have changed my underwear.
I don't know if it's gonna mean anything later on, but with where I'm at, Amuro was in Rick Diaz, and obviously Camille was out there in the Mark II, and gosh, I lost what I was trying to say. Oh, anyways, Amuro was shooting the backpacks off of the Zaku's, I'm sorry, the Hizaks that were on the little hovercrafts and stuff. That way, they can't fly back up. I was assuming what the purpose was.
Yeah.
And I think Camilo tried it too with the beam saber, and he ended up like stabbing the cockpit. And he's like, "Oh no!" He was like, "Oh no, I got the cockpit." I mean, he took the backpack off, but he killed the guy too, and I don't think he wanted to necessarily.
Yeah, the original manga for it, like the original story, and then they actually told Tamino to change it because it was so depressing. I mean, it's not a spoiler. Like I said, they changed it, but the original ending was where it was basically that Camille was so depressed that he literally killed himself in the cockpit of his own mobile suit.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's dark. But all right, guys, before we wrap things up, do you guys want to bring? Is there anything else like anything quick to talk about? Sorry,
If you don't like the Cubile, you're blind, and your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah, guys. Real quick, as a notice, T1 has the hots for Haman.
No. I have the hots for Cubile, not Haman, but
Yeah,
Haman's pretty cool.
What's the difference? Yeah.
So, you guys ever hear about the Nether Gundam or what?
Oh my goodness.
Nether Gundam is just a full armor Gundam X. That's all it is.
It is Kira Yamato in mobile suit form.
Oh god, we thought the Strike Freedom was OP.
Yes.
You know what'd be so cool?
Hmm.
I just thought of it now, man. If you made like a custom, a more modernized version of the Nether Gundam, give it that, turn its windmills into a
Like
the
a-
Zanskar Empire, the beam saber helicopter thing.
Yes.
It should have that as an attack where it can just like a like a propeller, like a plane, like the props of a plane. It can like suck itself forward and just fly forward at insane speeds and just fly into someone and slice them into pieces. Man, I feel like you'd be invincible, blocking beam shots and everything. Man.
Before we wrap it up.
Change the subject.
Yeah, I had to change the subject because man, that gave me a headache, man. Like you blew like a whole section of my brain. So I'm not like Kiriyamata, bro. I can't walk away without any damage. All right, that gave me some damage.
Oh god, Brendan, turn the reactor off.
It's off. It still didn't help. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But no, before we wrap it up, because we're actually a little over our time. I was very surprised and actually very excited that Wacky came on. It was a surprise. I thought, because I was talking to him earlier, I was like, man, you should just be a guest. It'd be awesome. He's like, I'll think about it. So him coming on to the show was very great. Wacky, if you're still listening, thank you for being a guest. Oh God, it was entertaining.
Oh yeah, very insightful and hilarious.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I
hilarious.
told you he was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm convinced his favorite series is Seed, and he's just trying to act like he's playing hard to get.
I dare you to say that in front of his face when he's on next time.
Ooh,
I'd love to hear that.
maybe I shouldn't.
I'll
We're about
wait
to
for
see
you,
him
don't
join the Discord again.
No, if he does get on next time, which I don't know when, it's whatever time he wants to get on here. He's always welcome. I wish I would have got on to about Turn A.
Maybe he can just like randomly jump in anytime we're doing a podcast and just make a dynamic entrance and make his point.
That was a pretty
exit.
diamond entrance. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
I thought it was you, CJ, but
Yeah. That's
but,
right.
all right, fellow engineers, that's all we have for tonight. If you guys want to join Wacky's 84 channel, Wackymodder84 channel, it's right there in the Discord. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Is there anything else you guys want to close with?
6 on.
60 on. CJ?
No, that's about it. I think we got it.
Can I say one more thing though?
60 on.
6 on.
All right,
Another
guys.
Gundam for life.
I'll say one more thing here. Wacky likes Seed, and that's all there is.
Oh,
okay.
hey!
I knew it. I knew it. Called it.
I knew it.
Man, Grievous is here. This is going to be another like 1 hour, almost 2 hour podcast now.
I think I just got moist from seeing a Zeon Zaku. Just
Oh God, yeah, we're going to end it here. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. All right, fellow engineers.
Jeez.
Going wild.
All right, my fellow engineers, thank you for tuning in. You guys have a great night. Tune in for next week's episode, 7 God, 7 p.m. Central. All right, guys, catch you in the next episode. Peace out.